For nonprofit organizations, there is no internal relationship more important than that between the executive director and director of development. I remember how frustrated I was when I could not get a meeting set with my boss. There was no response to my request for meetings. Worse, I had a major donor upset because my boss would not return his call. This is when I was raising significant money for the organization. Needless to say, that was the beginning of the end at that organization. I lost trust and felt disrespected. Hi there, I'm Nancy Reeves, your fundraising coach. Are you struggling to strengthen or repair your relationship as a nonprofit executive or development director? If so, let's look at how to foster trust, communication, and a healthy working relationship. Here we go. Number 1, have strong and regular communications. Communication is one of the most important parts to a good relationship between the executive director and director of development. It is the executive director's responsibility to share decisions made and actions required. With that, it's important to create an environment in which feedback is encouraged and adopted. Since everyone has their preferred communication style, it's essential for the executive director and director of development to establish an easy and comfortable flow in communicating. Actually, you should speak daily and have a good understanding of each other's workload and priorities at any given time. Number 2, know your roles. The executive director has the responsibility of leading the entire organization. The overseeing of the people, programs, board, and finances, for example, and ensures the mission is effectively fulfilled. No doubt, the executive director is the public face of the organization. The director of development's primary responsibility is the coordination and implementation of giving opportunities. They are to develop and maintain relationships with donors, partners, and stakeholders so they support the organization and have a rewarding giving experience. With that said, the executive director and director of development must work closely together to determine when the executive director is needed in the donor giving process. The executive director must be deeply engaged with high-level fundraising. The development director can't possibly single-handedly bring in the kind of money the organization wants and need. Particularly with major gifts, the executive director participates in the strategy creation and meets with donors to ask for their financial support. In fact, at times, the executive director spends a significant amount of time in direct fundraising, as much as 50% of their time. Without the support of the executive director, the director of development will be frustrated and the organization will not reach its full funding potential. Fundraising is a team effort. Each should respect and support the other. Number 3, and last, trust and respect. No doubt the executive director and director of development should get along very well and have a close working relationship. The executive director trusts the development of director will oversee the fundraising process at the organization. At the same time, the director of development trusts the executive director has her back and is not alone when it comes to advancing donor relations and capitalizing on funding opportunities, especially major gifts. They have to be on the same page, or the relationship will not work and the organization will suffer. Bottom line, the executive director and director of development should function as a close partner.